Hello again and welcome to another self-defense tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to release from a rear naked chokehold. The rear naked chokehold is one of the most difficult holds to release from. And the problem is, if they get a very tight grip on your neck, this will block the airways and worse still, may block the blood supply to your head, in which case you only have a few seconds before you pass out. So the thing to do is not let them get a really tight grip on your neck. So if you sense that this is going to happen, if you've got your chin up, they're going to tighten very tightly on your neck. So the thing to do is to try and drop your chin. As soon as you feel it happening, drop your chin so your chin's in the way. So his forearm's not actually touching my neck. But if they try to lift you, this will open your neck and then they can slip it down. So to avoid this, you need to squeeze your abs and bend the knees so you've got more weight and it's harder for them to lift you up, like that. So try and keep your body straight, try not to lean back. Of course, if you're very light, they're going to lift you quite easily anyway. So once you're here, if they're holding with just one arm, then it's not so difficult because you can use a bit of leverage to pull from here to prise the grip open. If you grab the thumb and turn it outwards, this is much more effective. You can use this hand to pull the forearm away. By turning this out, it's like a wrist lock and it's very easy to prise open like that. The pain causes them to open their grip. But they may hold their fist to stop this from happening, in which case trying to be too busy pulling that away may not be as effective. Maybe you need to get one hand here and just pull the whole forearm away to ease off the pressure. Maybe the grip is still tight, but even a slight less pressure might buy you a few seconds. But worse is when they grip you with a full chokehold and their hands behind your head and it's very tight like this. The difficult thing is to get your fingers in here because it's so tight and you can't get access to that hand. So it's very difficult to get their arm away. It's such a tight hold. The reason why it's so tight is because they've got their hand behind your head. So one thing you could do is grab the hand behind and try and prise the fingers back and bend them back like that. This means they're only holding with you with one arm and then you might be able to open that grip a little bit more. But in addition to that, you might be able to weaken them a little bit. You can hit them. There's a few ways you can do this. Pull your hips away and hit their groin with a side fist. You can stamp on their foot. You can use your elbow to hit them a few times, or you can gouge their eyes or thrust to their eyes. Or you can do a combination of things like that. And this might help weaken their grip. And once you've weakened them, relieve the pressure a bit, then you can make the move. So the release I'm going to show you is where you step behind with your inside leg. But in this position, I'm leaning forward in an awkward position. He's nice and upright in a balanced position. But if I push my hip forward, now I'm upright in a much more balanced position and he's leaning back, slightly losing balance now. And to get him to fall, I need to roll him over my thigh by turning towards him like that. So he rolls over the thigh and loses balance. But they could take you with them. So a few things to remember is once you've done this move, push, try to prise open the grip. Slip this down, use this arm to help turn them and pull this arm to open them like that. Okay? And another thing is it's worth turning slightly towards them. Because if you don't turn and they pull you, they'll pull you backwards and it's very easy to fall. But if you turn and then they pull you, you've got support from this leg. So it's much easier to stay up. Okay? So from here, another thing is, when you've turned a little bit, you also have to lower yourself, because if you just turn, he's more upright. But if I lower myself, he's bending backwards now, so he's more off balance, so I can get him to fall much easier. Okay? Now, if they're much stronger than you, much heavier than you, you might get stuck. You might get to this position here, and then find nothing's happening. So one thing you could try, lean into them, grab their leg, and twist their leg round. That might help getting them down. But because you've taken your arms off their grip, they may take you with them. So you may end up falling down with them, which is still okay. If you fall on top of them, maybe stick your elbow in as you fall on top of them, maybe you can release after. It's better than doing nothing, so it's worth a try. Even if you don't fall, if you fall with them or don't fall, it's better to try something. So here's a few scenarios of how this can work. As I said before, the rear naked chokehold is a very difficult hold to release from. I just showed you one way of doing this, and you need to practice it very often to become proficient. Then you have more chances to get it to work. But of course, the person may be so strong that even this technique doesn't work, so you need other options, and I'll show you those in different videos. Until then, please subscribe if you haven't done so already, and look out for my next video. Hope to see you next time. Goodbye.